Okay guys, we're moving on to belt stretches now. There'll be two videos of belt stretches. This one's going to focus on legs. So if you don't have a yoga belt, you can use resistance bands, you can use an actual belt. It doesn't need to be quite long though. The dressing gown, the belt of a dressing gown would be ideal as well. Have a root around, see what you have. Really important that you do a little bit of a warm up to this prior to this. So the sequence that we did on legs, or just even 5-8 minutes of pedaling, some twists, just something to get a bit of heat going into the legs and that the muscles are somewhat warmed up before you go into this stretching. Otherwise you could strain muscles quite easily, which obviously you don't want to do. With the belt stretches, it's really important that you don't try and stretch through pain. You really need to begin to become very body aware and be able to distinguish between a nice good stretch and something that is very uncomfortable and painful. The latter we don't want to be going next or near to. However, if you do feel you're in the point where you're experiencing pain in a stretch, just ease out of it. Some people find when they're doing leg stretches, especially with the belt, that their legs will begin to vibrate and shake. I would say as long as you're not in pain, it's okay, just maybe ease out of it slightly. Really important that you focus on your breath. Really important that you keep that deep belly breathing going. And as you exhale, what you're trying to do is you're trying to exhale tension from the body. So when you get to the point we say where your leg is coming out, and next thing it's like we're not going any further, and all of a shot then you're feeling tension, you're feeling that resistance. You want to focus on your breath, exhaling tension, which allows muscles to soften, and then that will allow you just to go that little bit deeper into a stretch. Could be a millimeter, could be a centimeter, but it means that you're doing your stretching in a very safe and effective way. It's also a really good way for you to improve your focus and concentration, because you bring your awareness back to your breath. So you kind of begin to take a little bit more control rather than getting to the point of, oh, I'm going to just push through this and possibly hurt myself. So we'll begin by lying flat on the mat. Grab your belt and just leave it by the right hand side of your body. And as I said, just make sure you do that a little bit of a warm up initially. So just as you're lying here, we'll just draw the knees into the chest. We'll just gently rock over side to side a few times. And just come back to center and just lengthen down through both legs. Make sure that you feel nice and comfortable here. Make sure that your hips are nice and aligned so that you're feel you've got a good connection with the mat or with the floor or whatever you're on. Take your head up, just draw your chin slightly towards your chest. Lengthen out the spine, and then we're just going to grab the belt. So we're going to begin with a calf stretch. So we're going to take the belt around the ball of the foot, vital that it's the ball of the foot and not the middle of the foot, and then we're going to hold onto the straps like this. So don't wrap them around your knuckles and strain on your hands or your wrists like that. So we're going to hold the leg then 6 to 8 inches up off the ground. Keep that left leg nice and flat, or if you wish you can always bend it up and take the left foot onto the floor. Take your head, take your shoulders back down onto the mat now, and gently begin to draw the straps towards you. Send your right heel away from you. So if the belt isn't around the ball of the foot, you're more than likely not going to experience a good stretch here. You should be feeling it into your Achilles, into your calf muscles, possibly up into the back of the knee, and you could even be feeling it into your lower hammies. One more breath, inhale, exhale, we drop that leg down, we pop the left foot in now, and same on the other side. 6 to 8 inches up, keeping that right leg nice and straight, or alternatively you can bend the knee. Keep your head on the mat, so don't be pulling up and looking at what you're doing, you're going to strain your neck. One more breath here, inhale, and we're going to exhale and drop that left leg down. Pop your right foot in now, and this time you can take the belt to the middle of the foot. So we're going to go into our hamstrings and inner and outer thigh stretches here, and a little bit into the hips also. So we're going to start with the right leg. Now with your left leg, you either keep it flat on the mat or bend up again here and take the foot. Having the knee bent makes it a little bit easier, let's say. Regardless of what you do, don't allow that leg just to fall out to the side or just kind of fall out to the side when it's flat on the mat. You keep it engaged somewhat, okay? And that's just to keep your whole body in, you know, in a state of good alignment whilst you're working on the right hand side. Here we're going to hold on to the straps again, as we did with the calf stretch, so no wrapping around the hands. Take your head and your shoulders down onto the floor. Draw your chin slightly towards your chest. You may find as you go on, your head begins to roll back like this. If your chin is higher than your nose, you're really straining on the back of your neck. So every now and again, bring your awareness to that. And also bring awareness to your shoulders, that you're not drawing your shoulders up or rounding them. So we're going to begin with just a nice gentle stretch towards us. So we're going to begin to gently draw that right leg towards us. We're going to keep the right knee a little bit bent, and the reason behind that is if you lock the knee into the leg, you'll hyperextend on the back of the knee, stretching into the back of the knee, which is not what you want to be doing. We want to target the hamstrings here. So we bend the knee a little bit, and then we'll target the belly of the hammies. So drawing that right leg towards us. And you'll get to a point where you're like, okay, I can't go any further. And that's where you begin to get into that deep breathing. So deep breath in for me now. And exhale. Soften and releasing. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, take both straps into your right hand now. And we're going to allow that right leg to just slightly go out to the side. It is literally going 2 to 3 inches, just past your hip, no further than that. And if you hold on to the straps in your right hand, you can take your left hand and just pop it onto your left hip, just kind of use it as a bit of an anchor there. So if you're not feeling any stretch here, just gently begin to draw that leg towards you. So draw that right foot towards your right shoulder. Keep breathing, inhaling and exhaling. One more breath, inhale and exhale. Now really apply a bit of pressure on that left hip with your left hand, and we're going to slowly begin to allow that right leg to fall out to the side now. So now we're going to begin to get into abductors and adductor stretching here. This is quite intense, so just take your time and use your breath. If you roll up off your left hip, you've gone too far. So if you do that, bring the leg back. Make sure your hips are in alignment. It's more important to have that. And just allow the leg to go as far as it'll go. Keep breathing. Keep the knee a little bit bent. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale and draw that right leg up. Switch hands. So take the straps into your left hand. This time now we're only allowing our right leg to just go past the belly button. So your left foot now is really only above your your right foot is really only above your left hip. And again now, if you're not feeling a stretch here, just gently begin to draw that right foot up towards your left shoulder. Deep breath in now. As you exhale, slowly begin to allow that right leg to fall over to the left. You do not need to get that foot down onto the floor. Just wherever feels comfortable for you. So no pain. Don't allow your right shoulder to roll up off the mat. If you wish, you could always take your gaze out over your right shoulder here. For an extra little stretch. And we'll come back. And now we're going to take the straps back into the right hand. So now we're going to do a little bit of a hip opener here. So we're going to take our right arm to the inside of our right leg. I'm going to use the right arm to gently push the leg out away from us. And now we're going to begin to bend that knee. So you keep the sole of your foot up towards the ceiling. You're trying to stack your right ankle over your right knee. And now you just gently begin to draw that knee down as if you're trying to send it down to the floor. You can again use your left hand on your left hip just to anchor here. Keep breathing, inhale and exhale. more breath here. Inhale, so you can get a little bit deeper. And then take the leg back. Grab both straps again. Draw that right leg towards you. Hopefully, and if you don't, it's fine. But you may be able to bring your leg a little bit closer towards you. Release the belt. And now slowly, so really slowly lengthen down that right leg. And hopefully you may feel a bit of a lengthening down the right hand side of the body as those muscles loosen out. We go to the left hand side. So left leg up, belt around the middle of the left leg. And again, making sure you're holding onto the straps, making sure the knee is a little bit bent, making sure your head and your shoulders are on the floor and your chin is slightly down towards your chest. And when you're ready, gently beginning to draw that left leg towards you. And again, this time that right leg can either be extended or, if you wish, bring the foot up. Take both straps into the left hand now, and we allow that left leg just go slightly out to the side, just past the left hip, no further than that, literally 2 to 3 inches, keeping that little soft bend in the knee. And again, if you're not feeling any stretch, gently begin to draw that left foot up towards your left shoulder. You take the right hand onto the right hip now, again just to help keep that anchoring going there. One more breath, inhale. And now as you exhale, just applying a little bit of pressure onto that right hip and slowly begin to drop that left leg out to the side. Again, just to the point where you're feeling enough of a stretch but not feeling pain. Keep focusing on the breath. One more breath, inhale. As you exhale, draw that left leg up. Allow your left leg to just go past your belly button. Take the straps into your right hand now. Left foot is over the right hip. Draw that left foot up towards your right shoulder. One more breath, inhale. Now as you exhale, allow that left leg to go out all the way, or as far as it'll go. Now keep that left shoulder on the ground, so don't allow the left shoulder to come up. And again, if you wish, you can take your gaze out over your left shoulder. So you're getting a spinal twist. And stretch again. Draw the left leg up. We'll take the straps back into the left hand. And again, now for our little hip opener, taking the left arm to the inside of that left leg and using your left arm to physically push the leg out, and then keeping the sole of the foot up towards the ceiling, keeping your ankle over your knee and drawing that knee down. Keep breathing deeply here. Draw the leg back up. Again, taking both straps, gently drawing that left leg towards you. Releasing the belt, and you can just pop the belt down and lengthen down that leg again, nice and slowly. Quite possibly you're feeling a bit of heat now in, especially around the hip and pelvic area and lower back. That will be completely normal and natural. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Gently rocking over from one side to the other. Lengthen down the legs again. Take the arms down by the side of the body. Take a deep breath in. Exhale through the mouth. Deep breath in. Exhale. And one more. Inhale. Release and let go. Wonderful. Okay, so that's our first belt stretch. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you soon. Stay safe, everybody. Thank you very much. Namaste.